People might be shocked to find out that there's not quite the disconnect between college curriculums and business decision making. We're starting to see more upper level decision makers use qualitative and quantitative research to help guide and remove uncertainty. So upper level decision makers are not just going on guesswork anymore. And we've seen some of this guesswork go wrong with some of these big brands. They just feel we should move this direction. They just feel we should try this new direction, but they're not using research to find out. Executive level decision making that uses research will understand their audience better. So if they go out and they do qualitative interviews, if they go out and they work to understand, what do my customers want? Who are my customers? What do they value? What is it that my company brings that supplies a value to them? And they understand why they purchase, why they value the relationship, and why they might repurchase. Those are good research skills that executive leaders can use to help understand content creation, where to put pricing, and the same thing with quantitative studies. You might be using metrics. You might be looking at big data through social media, trying to understand the patterns of your customer, what content they click on. There's all kind of research that's involved. And that's where upper level college classes are really something that we're seeing executive leaders use and need, because they're bringing more APA studies into the boardroom more now than ever. They're using some of these old theories. And I know what you're saying is, oh, old theories, they must be outdated. But what we're seeing executive leaders do is they're moving theories forward. Theories that we used to use on television, like parasocial, to understand relationship building through on-screen performances. They're bringing these more into social media. They go, you know what? We used to believe that there was relationships from television. Well, what kind of relationships are coming through social media? How can we develop new relationships with customers using our social media? Who on screen can build relationship? What verbal and nonverbal elements happen on screen that we can develop new relationships with clients? So they're looking at things like this, and this is where old television theories can be moved forward. So there's not quite the disconnect. Everybody wants to think, oh, you don't need college. There's a disconnect between curriculums. The disconnect is only on the ability of the worker. The disconnect is only on the ability of somebody to think and go, okay, well, these were the lessons I learned in college. How can I use this in my decision making to make this more of an intelligent decision, to remove the guesswork? So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people with the degrees and with the abilities to critically think and go, let me attach this to it. Can you be successful without a degree? Maybe you can, man. Maybe you got a good trade or a good small business. You go out there, you work, you hustle. That's great. But at some point, you're going to need to learn to research, because no matter what business you have, your audience is going to shift. Their wants and needs are going to shift. So even if you don't have that degree, you're going to need to learn that skill set to understand the audience and how to research the audience. People that already have that background, people that already have that education, that have learned that skill set, man, they're going to be dangerous as we move forward into the future. As we move into the era of AI, and AI brings us more metrics and they bring us more data. And so it's not always just going to be, oh, AI is going to take over and it's going to fire everybody. AI is going to produce a lot of data for executive decision makers that we're going to be able to use and go, okay, well, we look at this right here and we let them crunch the numbers. AI does all this groundwork for us. Now, what direction should we move? Where should we shift? How can we look at this data that AI has brought to us? We've able to put in and let it crunch, and it looks at everything of the qualitative and the quantitative. Now let's use that to find a future direction. So what do you think, man? Do you think these are all good skills that college students are learning, or should they be learning? Should this be more in academics? Should we be basing it more? How can we apply this to business? Or is there some skills where the street smarts and the book smarts should meet each other? What do you think, man? I want to hear from you. Like, share, comment, and follow.